Look at this place. Look at it. Just look at it. It's Jupiter. I'm on the planet Jupiter. I'm just in some kind of a cottonwood bowl, bunch of milkweed, Cain. They call it Cain, left over from last year. It's out in the middle of a bean field. It's just a low spot that they don't farm because it gets too wet probably, and they just let it go. So I didn't think there's much chance of having anything in here, and there probably isn't, but I'm fighting over this stuff, crawling over it like a 5-year-old in a jungle gym. Nothing but cottonwoods. There's a dead sycamore there. How's a sycamore die? That bright white one. But I'm seeing nothing but cottonwoods and some dead stuff here. It's so dead I can't even identify what it is. I don't think they were cottonwoods, but it's just a mess. And I'm stomping around through here. There's just little pathways kind of that animals have made through here. And I come up on a couple mushrooms. Now, if you watch my shows, this is the same day when I go on the long walk and I end up coming down a dirt road, and I kept a couple root balls to try and grow them. It's that same day. And these ones are pretty fresh. And I'm about 4 or 5 miles from there, but this isn't the timber like I was in. And this kind of a wet bottom area and a little more moisture in the ground here to this. Thus, it's kind of a, it's kind of a bowl. It's kind of a catch for water. Ain't no much water in it right now. And so I see those and I just think it's a fluke, and I start kicking around. I'm not really looking at the sky or anything, and not paying much attention to the trees. I just know it's kind of a cottonwoody bowl. There's another nice one. It's beautiful. It's getting kind of cruddy on top, but he's still supple, and mushrooms are starting to turn because of the lack of rain, but they're nice and fresh looking. The stems are nice and white still. Just no staining on them because they've been naturally wind dried. So I kind of stopped, pick those first two, and look around. And there's a sycamore here. Silly sycamore. These sycamores are something else, man. I'm telling you, they're the mushroom producing machine. I've come all through here, zigzagging back and forth through these little open spots. I mean, it's tough. This is tougher than walking. Walking through 300 foot of this is more exercise, more workout than walking through 5 miles of timber, okay? It just is. You're constantly lifting your leg up way up high to get up over this mess here on Jupiter. And yeah, it's all cottonwoods, zigzag around, find nothing. Come to one single sycamore out here in the middle of this, and boom, there's mushrooms around it. Sycamores, baby. Man. Funny thing is, I've talked about it over and over. Next year, it could be all around cottonwoods or maples and nothing around sycamores. They do it. They cycle. Let's continue on. We're going to be in some weird stuff. We're going to get way out here, and I don't know what we got in store. Never been in here. Found some around Cain earlier this year. 25 pounds in one day. Go back and check that one out. I'll be dang diggly. I shut the camera off. We're right here. Didn't move. And boom, there's 2 more. I stepped on them. I knocked them over. So yeah. I didn't step on those. Those are drier. I've been stepped on for a little bit. I really don't think anybody else has been in here. There's just a few couple little animal trails in here. And that was right on a trail, so rabbit or something been hopping on them. Okay, let's keep poking around here. Silly sycamores, man. It's just 12 inches around, and it's the only one I see in here besides that bright white stick right there. That's a little dead one, little 6-inch round dead one. Don't see that very often. Must have got too wet in here the last couple years for him to even survive. Yeah, a lot of dead stuff in here because probably had standing water in it. Say we're kind of in a little shallow pond kind of thing. Okay, so look at this. That's a beaver chew. Beavers don't climb trees. That's a beaver chew. It's above my head. It's about, well, it's like 5 inches above my head. So I'm 6 foot. There's another one. So this has had 6 foot of water standing on it at some point. This is either a black willow or a cottonwood. Where it broke off there, that's beaver chewed. Okay, beaver did that. That's 6 foot above me. Or it's 6 feet off the ground. So picture the water being this high and a beaver floating on the water, chewing on that. That seems weird to me. Unless there was floating brush and stuff here. Maybe there was some of this deadfall and stuff. Maybe there was floating debris. He was sitting on the floating debris, eating at these trees when the water was up this high. Maybe there was logs and debris floating there, and he was sitting on that debris, chewing on it. Because I've never seen a beaver floating on the water, chewing on a log that big. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But yeah, definitely means there was 6 foot of water over this at one time. Here's a sycamore coming up here, and here's a dead one that broke off. So this is a couple years ago. It broke off at that same height, that 6 foot height. It has broke off, okay, at that 6-7 foot level, like a lot of this dead stuff is. Must be about where the water was standing on it for a while or whatever. It killed all this stuff. It broke off, or maybe a beaver chewed that one off too, but it's resprouted, okay? It's just a tangled, resprouted mess, like a total improper way to prune a tree kind of thing. You can see how a limb has resprouted into the main branch off the top there. So it's been a couple years to get that growth. It's had to have been it broke off, and it's had to have at least 2 years or so to get that growth. So it must have been 2 years since this was flooded. Got him. Nice and fresh down under that grass. I just left my bucket and camera here, and left it here by Sprout. Went over to his sister over here behind. I just set my bucket and camera down. This stuff's rough. I just made a circle around because I knew I was going to head back this way. So I just set my bucket and camera here. Found those 3 on Sprout's sister over there behind her. I spent 10-12 minutes just peering down into this stuff. It's, yeah. I mean, look, you know. Can you see that? I mean, we know exactly where that's at. You can't. You can't see him. It's fun though. Love coming to places like this. Just kind of show you guys, you know, oh, I can't find any, and I never have any luck, or how do you find so many? It's all about covering ground. Okay, let's go. I have no idea which way to go. This probably looks like easy walking to y'all, but it's not. It's all lumpy and wavy and just, you just need to be here. You are. You're with me. You're inspiring me right now. We're doing this together. I'm doing it for y'all. So, which way do we go? I'm begging and pleading. Alright, I'm going to step over them logs and go out around. Yeah, see you in a minute. Here's a big. I was in the magical forest earlier today and picked about 2 pounds of totally dried up things. And these are still good. Yeah. Tucked down in this moist grass, staying moist and shaded and out of the wind. Alright. Might add up to something in here, but gonna have to cover a lot of ground to do it. Just picked that big up right here. Sycamore's still that way. And I got another big over here. Tall ice cream cone. Oh, there's one right here. Lucky to see that. Smaller, but fresh. Alright. So I'm talking about, I'm getting jacked here now. Yeah, just gonna have to get lucky. There could be 20 of them here, but how can you know? Just happened to see this one because he's in an open spot. There's limbs laying here. It kind of open there. Greener there, kind of open spot, and I could see him. It's right down there. Yeah. Starting to get a little orange color on the edges, but he's still perfect. Big old honker. Nice 6 inch, 7 inch long. Okay. This is fun stuff. Just, I don't know. It's a bunch of nothingness. I mean, it's not nothingness, but it's definitely a unique ecosystem in here for sure. Been following a little pathway in here. It's all you can do. Got one off the edge of it right here. All good. Mushy flush. See one back in there. Somehow, some way. Just happens to be in an open spot where I could see him. Beauty. He'll keep. Drop a comment. You ever found mushrooms in a place like this? Excuse my slowness. I am scanning for the elusive morel. Extra elusive in here, but they're here, and that's all that matters. Johnny fish put you on them again. More diversity. Nobody hunts more diverse morel habitat than Johnny fish. You've seen it all with me this year. If you haven't yet, there we go. Definitely a keeper. Big gray, little wind burnt, no black staining, no orange staining, just a little bit on the ridges. All good. Cool. Stomping around the same vicinity. Got a big old folded over crust of velvet looking one. Look at the pits in that thing. Woo! That'll fry up something special now. Man, them pits were made for holding flour right there now. Good grief. Looky here what we found. Thought it was gonna be some big mushrooms, huh? Nice open area. Got some open ground. It's much more open. It's about 50 yards from where I was at. Hey folks, just jumping in here real quick. Hope everybody's well. Thanks for checking in. Just want to make a point here on this open area that I'm coming into. What this is, how this has occurred naturally, is because it's a game trail. A lot of times in my videos, when you hear me talk about a trail or I'm following a trail, it's a game trail, animal trails. I'm not talking about paths through the woods that men have made and that are walking trails per se. They're game trails. So this is an area where several, if not hundreds, of game trails that I have been following all through this Cain and this flood-prone area. There's a series of smaller game trails that eventually converge into larger and larger game trails as they go along. Anybody who's spent time in the woods, if you're outdoorsman, outdoorswoman, you know what I'm talking about. Small game trails lead to more heavier traveled game trails. Just like in our human environment where city streets, county roads lead to cities, cities lead to highways. If that makes any sense at all. Anyway, this open, more wider spot is where series of smaller game trails converge into one larger one. And the activity on that game trail has kept the vegetation beat down and stomped down. And that's why I suddenly have this open area. It's another way that nature comes along and causes chaos. and morels like chaos. Just like beavers clearing an area, wind damage have knocked down trees, floods create erosion on the surface of the ground, expose roots and kill trees and create morels. It's one of the things that how morels are created. The mycelium's there. When the mycelium gets disturbed, all of these situations add up to the mycelium getting disturbed, and boom, morels pop up. It's one of the things I focus on, I pattern, I key on. It just separates an average mushroom hunter from someone who's pretty successful at it. Yeah, anyway, just pointing that out. That's why this clearing is here. It's a series of smaller game trails converging into one larger one, one heavier traveled one. So anyway, and believe it or not, that activity creates morels. I don't necessarily believe it's because spores are traveling on animals and the animals are dispersing spores. A lot of you might have heard that before. And that's why you find morels along game trails. I don't necessarily believe that. It's from the animals trampling vegetation and creating areas where the tree roots and plant roots and the upper layers of the soil get disturbed and damaged. It's because that's also damaging the mycelium that the roots that the mycelium are feeding on. So that's why the morels are there. Anyway, that's what I think. All right, back at it. Thank you. Yep. Little wind burnt. We'll keep them. We'll keep him. Looky here. Looky here. Right beside him. Looky here. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. Staying fresh down in that grass. Little mold on him, but we're gonna take him for sure. We ain't done here. We ain't done. I don't know how many more is here that we can't see. There's probably a few. Did I see him? 4 inches from him. Right here. I kid you. Two of them. It's two of them. One. Beauty. Two. All right. This is what we're targeting. That's why I came here. Knew this, seen this place from the road. Knew this cane would be thick and be some matted down stuff in here and be some moisture down under all that stuff. Whammo. What we got? Teacups right next to him. Teacups, old. Teacups came out a month ago. Look at the pores and the pits in that meathead. It's like a keeper. Not as big. Yeah, sure, he'll go. He'll go just fine. Fine as wine. Alright. I can see them patches. Oh, see another one. See another one. Okay, mushy flush. Who else? Let's stop and think about this. Who takes you to morel ground on the African Safari Havana Plain? Is that what this looks like, or am I getting delusional? Does this look like Africa? Are we gonna see a rhino or a lion come busting through here? Who else takes you to these places? Come on. Give me some credit. I know. Just dumb enough to be out here and wander around, I guess. Beauty. Probably ain't no spores opening left in these big blown out gilled meatheads. Nice one. Very, very nice. Definitely a low-lying area that floods. We're still in that same general vicinity where we saw the beaver chews 6 feet up the trees. And this obviously, if you're local to me and this looks familiar to you, we're obviously in a definitely a floodplain area. Place that can fill up with water fast. But that's the experience I'm bringing to you guys. You would have never found these when they were fresh grays. Never. We hold on to these spots like this late in the year. These areas are so thick you'd never see young ones. Wait till them grays, common morels, got some color on them. Come in here when they're bigger, when you can see them, and they're a brighter, yellower, golden color. That's 40 years of knowledge brought to you right there. If you appreciate it, let me know. If you don't, think I'm greedy, let me know. But yeah, glad to share it with you. Boom, 2 of them. Where are they? You're looking right at it. There's another one over here. It's right there. It's right there. Sorta, I think. Right there. This is out in this open area. Can we see it? Can you see how we have this open pathway here? I mean, how lucky. How? This is why you keep walking, to find places like this. We tromped through that crap in that jungle gym like a 5-year-old for a freaking hour and a half to find this one strip, 6 foot wide and 50-yard long strip of sudden an open strip, like a runway through here, with crap over here growing up, crap over here growing up. That's why you keep walking, you keep going. I can't stress it enough. Don't give up. If you got the day to do it from sun up to sundown. So keep going. Little crud on one side. That's where he was face down in there. That's where the moisture was. That's why he got a little cruddy, but we cut that out. I got someone I need to get some shrooms to that I didn't give to yet this year. Can't do it every year. Not for everybody. You just can't. Boom. Big dog. Big donkey donk. Got the root on that one. Whew. Whoa. Now you talk about a baseball. You describe them as baseballs sometimes. Softball size, tennis ball size. Now come on. Look at that thing. He's just form fitted. Crazy. Yeah. All right. Whoo-wee. Out in the Kansas savannah. Should be a song. Should be a song about that one. All right, well, you know what happens now.